Every single trade I posted in my Discord group this month was a win.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
100% win rate. What? Y'all know I have to come on here and I have to break it down for y'all and show y'all all the trades that I took in July. I officially posted 11 trades in the Discord group for the month of July. I did take other trades separately on my own, and I'll go into a couple of those. And I also posted some lotto trades in the Discord group, but I do not consider the lotto plays in my overall analysis, even though 3 out of 4 of those were winners as well. But I'm just gonna be going over the official trades that I placed in the Discord group for the month of July. Many of the trades were posted in the swing trade section, but I had 1 or 2 that was posted in the scalping trade section, and that's usually how it goes. I will post something in the swing trade section because it has the potential and the expiration date to be able to hold it. But if I hit my profit target or I'm happy with the profit, I will close it sometimes the same day. So it doesn't have to be a swing trade, but it is set up to be a swing trade, if that makes sense. So I will be going over all of them. I track all of my trades, and I also post my trade recaps on my Market Money Multiplier Instagram page. So be sure to check that out and follow if you'd like. But I do post those every couple of weeks so you guys can see all the screenshots that I am showing you. And then I go over every trade that I take in detail every week on Sunday during the live Zoom calls, which is exclusive to Discord members and my Market Money University students. So with that all out the way, y'all, let's go ahead and go over some of these trades. I will be skimming through some of the things that I posted, and then I will also be going into the actual charts to show y'all why I took what I took and how I was able to spot my setups, my entries and exits, the profit that I made, the percentage, all of that. I'm also gonna show y'all the lotto play that I took that I really wanna show y'all, and another trade that I took that I did not post in the Discord group because it happened too quickly, but I would love to show y'all that trade as well. So we got a lot to get into in this video. I'm super excited. This is definitely a great month for me. My win rate is always over 75%, but 100% is amazing. I mean, you literally can't get any better than that. And you know what's so crazy? What is so crazy is I was out of town. I was literally on vacation the entire month of July. I was in Hawaii the entire month of July. So I had a 100% win rate while being on vacation. And in Hawaii, the New York Stock Exchange opens at 3:30 in the morning, Hawaii Standard Time. I was waking up at 3 a.m. taking trades and winning, half sleep. Okay, no, I'm kidding. No, not kidding. Sometimes it was half sleep, but that's what happens when you've been doing something for such a long time and you continue to practice every single day, no matter what. You just get better and better and better. So I'm very proud of myself. Okay, I'm giving myself a pat on the back, and let's go ahead and get into these trades. So let's start with the first half of the month. I took 35% profit on an NVIDIA trade using one of my favorite strategies, which is the gap strategy. I got in at a support level the day before, and I closed it out the very start of the next day for 35% because we had a slight gap up in the market. Those are my favorite trades to do because they're super easy and fast. I love closing out my trades that first few minutes of the market, and this is one of my favorite strategies. People ask me, how do you know there's going to gap up? You know because of the levels. You know because of the levels, and I'll show you guys an example of what I mean by that. But this stuff gets scary predictable. The first half of July, I also did a 12% on AMD. This was not my favorite trade because, as you can see, I had to hold this for a little while, and it went up a pretty good amount, and I only made 12%, but that's because theta. We love theta. Theta ate into a lot of my profits, but I was still able to close it out with 12% profit. I did another NVIDIA trade. This was for 16%. I only held this for a few candles. Love that. I did a QQQ put. I made 11% on one candle. This happened immediately. I got in once it broke my trend line level, which was a small trend line that I drew on a smaller time frame. It broke that. I got in. The very next candle was a huge bearish candle, and I got out right at the end of it. As you can see, I could have held and made more, but one thing about me, I don't get greedy. I take my profit and I go. Next, I played a little bit with Dow Jones this month. And I figured out, I don't really like her too much. She's a little slow. So I held this for a pretty good amount of time. So I opened this Dow Jones position the morning of July 1st, and I didn't close it out until July 8th. So I held this for a week. I don't it was a swing trade, so yeah, that's okay. And it had an August expiration date. So, yeah, but I'm used to my swing trades not having to be held for that long. So to me, this was a little slow. And it moved up a pretty good amount, and I only made 14%. But you know what? 14% is 14%. All right, let me show y'all this trade that I took. Oh, I'm so upset that I did not post this in Discord group. It was not the best strike price, so I didn't post it in Discord group, and I definitely did not expect it to run all the way up to 236% the next day. I got a 236% return on this trade, and I just gotta show y'all and show y'all why I got into this trade, because this was crazy. This was on SPY, and so ignore my chart. I have a lot going on my chart. This is the chart that I look at every single day. But as you can see, we were running up on SPY before we just had this huge crash if you've been in the market the last couple of days. So we've been having these run-ups and we've been testing resistance, which on my chart are trend lines right now. And before they were resistance means right now I'm using trend lines since we were at all-time highs. And so we were breaking these resistance points here and we just kept trailblazing up. So then once we broke this next trend line right here, I was like, all right, I am going to start positioning myself. And so I just bought one contract, just one contract of this call on SPY. And I got in once we had this retest right here. It's actually here was where I got in. Once we had this retest on July 9th. And what I mean by retest is, let me zoom out just a little bit. And I put on the brush tool. We came up, retested the trend line that we just broke. So this was retest number 1. And then we came up and retested again. So then this was retest number 2. 1 and 2. 2 retests is good for me. Honestly, 1 retest on a trade that I'm ready to take is good enough. But this was the second retest, so I was definitely starting to position myself. I got in towards the end of the day on Tuesday, July 9th. And what happened the next day? Not only did we have a very predictable gap up because we were at a retested support level the day before, actually the 2 days before, but we gap and ran. So I ended up just watching this run all the way up to over 230% profit. And this was a day that I wasn't even really trading. I took the screenshot at 7:08 a.m. So that was Hawaii time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So once I saw this in the middle of the day, I closed it out, and I'm so upset I did not get to put it in the Discord group. But this is just another example of the gap strategy working out in my favor. Now let's go into the next half of July. I did another NVIDIA trade that was 12% profit. I did not hold that for long at all, literally 1 day. And I was able to close it because of the gap up that happened that very next day. Again, my favorite strategy to do. I had a quick SPY scalp for a quick 25%. And honestly, you can see it didn't really move that much. This is the 15-minute candle. It didn't move that much, but I made that much money, 25% of the contract, because it happened immediately. As soon as I got in, it started moving up. So because of that, I was able to make good profit on it. The faster something moves, the more profit you make. That is how options trading works. There's so many different variables and factors, and the Greek values explain all of that, but the faster something moves, the more money you can make on it. I made 30% on this Amazon call, which was cool because I haven't traded Amazon in a little while. So I was able to make that because of the gap up that it had the next day. Are you seeing a pattern? Do you see the trend? Okay. Quick 30%, close that out at the beginning. I mean, the little first minute of the market opening the next day, I was able to close that out with 30% profit. Doesn't get much better than that. Then I had an AMD put that I made some money on. I made 22% of my contribution and position. Then I had a 15% profit on QQQ. This was not my favorite trade because I had to hold this for longer than I would have liked. And it had a lot of drawdown before it got profitable, which is always a little to me. But nonetheless, I held and I was able to close it out just a few days later with 15% profit. Now I want to show y'all a lotto trade that I took. So I was saying in the beginning, none of these official trades include lotto plays. So I do have a separate section for lotto plays. And those are plays that are all or nothing plays. We're not using a stop loss. We're not even talking about stopping out. We are holding it until it pops. If it doesn't pop, then the contract was super cheap, so we didn't lose a lot. That is a lotto play. So I'm not considering those all or nothing type of plays where you're like super risky with them into my official tracked Discord trades. But in the month of July, 3 out of 4 of the lotto plays were successful, very successful. Here's one that I wish I would have held longer. Okay, because we had a huge like fall off a cliff type of situation that happened on Thursday, August 1st. And I have a whole video coming out about Thursdays in general. So subscribe to this channel if you're not already, because I have a tested theory about Thursdays that I'm very excited to share with you guys, because I don't know why no one's talking about it. It's on QQQ. And basically, I got in before anything happened. We're still trading at 470. And I said my target area is 461, down here where the resistance beam is, 461. And I put that in the Discord group. So this is before any of that happened. So just pretend like you're not even seeing that. We had fallen a little bit, came back to support, and then popped up. And I was saying we're going to go back down again. Why was I saying that? I was saying that because we still had this gap to fill. One thing about me and gaps, okay? Me and gaps go together real bad. If there's one thing I know, it's gaps. I love gap trading. I am a gap trader. That's why I love stock options so much, because I'm able to trade the gaps with stock charts. So we had this huge gap. This was a gap that went from 459 to 466. This was a $7 gap. That's going to get filled. That has to get filled. It's like an unwritten rule of the stock market. It has to get filled. So I was saying that was my target area, because not only would that fill the gap that happened the day before, but that was also going to go down to the support beam that needed to be retested before we continue to go up. So those two things in mind, I was very confident that we were going to come down. So I posted a lotto trade in the Discord group. And the lotto trade was a 455 strike price put. And me, myself, and I got this put option, and I also got a 450 strike price put. And I got multiple contracts of that along the way. Now tell me why I closed out the 455 put when it got to 47%. Why did I do that? I should have let it come. That was like the tip top of my target area. My target was 460. I closed it out right here at 466 at the top of the gap. Knowing that it was going to continue to come down, I just wanted to secure the profit. It was a soon to expire contract, and I wanted to secure the profit for you guys. But one thing about the Discord, it's suggestions, okay? This is not a rule of thumb, it's suggestions. So I closed the lotto play out at 47%, but you could have definitely held it if you would have held. Not only for the rest of the day on Thursday, but also into Friday. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, the amount of money you would have made on that put is insane. I held my 450 put, and that went up to 91% just on Thursday morning at 11:45 a.m. The screenshot was taken. 91% profit once we were right here. 91% profit. I didn't even hold it for the rest of the day or into Friday. I closed my personal put that I had more contracts invested into right here at the close of the gap, but we ended up falling even further. And now we were officially having a bit of a downtrend. So that's a whole other conversation. But I wanted to show you guys that lotto play and how I played it in the Discord group and how I also played it personally. Ever wished you could trade safely and securely from anywhere in the world? Well, now you can. Secure trading with NordVPN. Travel and trade safely with fast VPN servers that keep your data private and secure. From busy coffee shops in bustling cities to remote locations that are slightly off-grid, NordVPN ensures your trading activities are protected. No matter where you are, trade confidently knowing your connection is private. Experience the freedom to trade anytime and anywhere with NordVPN's global coverage. And when you use my link, you get an exclusive NordVPN deal plus 4 extra months. Click my link down below and start trading on the go, securely and privately with NordVPN. And then last but not least, I have a QQQ trade that I took, and I was able to get 25% profit on this, again, because of that little gap up that we had the very next day. So as you can see, I used the gap strategy a lot this month and it definitely worked out. I teach the gap strategy in detail in my Market Money University course, as well as 12 to 13 other strategies depending on if you trade Forex, stock options, or futures. I have a strategy that is tailored for each instrument. And yeah, I definitely love this gap strategy. You can play the gap beforehand or afterwards. It's called a gap fill strategy, and I go over all that in the Market Money University course. But that is how I was able to get a 100% win rate for the month of July. And I was on vacation the entire month, so it wasn't like I was fully dedicated to this. But I did still wake up. I did still participate in the Discord group. I did miss one Zoom call. I'm so sorry, y'all. And yeah, I pretty much stayed on top of most of the things. But after I either placed my trade for the day or closed out my trade for the day, I was not watching the charts like that. I was not scouting like I normally would when I'm at home. One, because the market opened so early in Hawaii, and also because who wants to be doing that on vacation? So could I have taken more trades for the month of July? Of course. August is definitely going to be looking a lot different, especially since I have a 30-day challenge coming up. So I will be doing a lot more trading this month of August. But that is how July went. I'm super satisfied with it, and I'm happy that I was able to come here and share my trades with you all. Be sure to check out my website, which is linked in the description box below, but it is marketmoneymultiplier.com. And I will also put the link to my Discord group in the comment section down below so you guys can join if you would like. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.